Alright, fuck, here we go. Oh, oh yeah!
Well, it was a beautiful weekday evening when I decided I was going to go for a ride with my buddy Rod. Now, thankfully, I live in a part of the world where I'm no more than 10 or 15 minutes away from any kind of decent trail, so I'm very fortunate in the fact that I don't need a lot of prep time before going on a ride. Anyways, my buddy Rod here is on his 990 KTM adventure. Now, he is a far more experienced rider than I am. However, his bike's newer, and he's far less willing to scratch it up, let's just say, at this point. Nevertheless, we argued for a bit over which trail we were going to hit. After looking at some angry rain clouds in the sky, we ended up deciding that we were going to head out to Vetter Mountain. Now, over the course of this video, you may hear some one-sided conversation. That's going to be a result of my Sena Bluetooth headset picking up on my voice and not his. We're able, through these headsets, to banter back and forth for the ride, which adds kind of an interesting dynamic. Anyways, after we figured out we were going to Vetter, we headed out. Toyed around with the GPS a little bit, and we were on our way. Now, after kind of a boring stretch on a Forestry Service road, we came to this little trail off to the left. We figured we'd check it out. It started out fairly tame. A little bit of mud, a couple of rocks, a little tree branch. But we kind of found that it got progressively gnarlier as we went along.
What are you worried about? Oh, it gets a little muddy.
Now, we came to a choice here. We could either go through the mud pit on the left or take the little bypass up to the right. Now, both of us weren't really in the mood to get our feet wet, so after a quick debate, we opted for the bypass. Rod, of course, took the lead, and we stopped. Now, his tires aren't nearly as adept to this kind of riding, so he's a lot more cautious on the road. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but well, we got through that without too much drama. A couple stalls here and there, but all in all, not so bad.
Oh, sorry. The guy in front of me stopped, so I had to lose all my momentum and try and get going up a hill. Or you could stop bitching and just ride.
Now here the trail started to get a little rocky, and as usual the GoPro doesn't really convey the steepness of the trail we were heading up. But traction was pretty good, a little better for me with the knobbies than Rod with his Pirellis, but I decided to just press on ahead, because the thing about these kind of hills is once you lose your momentum, it's very difficult to get moving again. In fact, it's almost better to just head down the hill and take another run at it. With these big adventure bikes, momentum is really just critical. They're very capable motorcycles when they're moving. As soon as they stop, not so much. So I kind of got deflected off to the right here. Thankfully, I managed to tractor up the hill here after a minute. After I got moving, you want to get up on the pegs, and we hopped this little tree.
Dude, good to look up right here. Woo!
After one last little steep rocky stretch, we made it to a little lookout. Now, this seemed as good a place as any to stop and have a beer and catch our breath. So, yeah, we kind of turned off the bikes, hung around, and debated where we were going to go next.
Well, as a matter of fact,
after a little chat, we decided to head down the hill and see what else we could find. Now, the descent is usually the easier of the two parts of the ride, mostly because you've got gravity on your side. You're going to make it down the hill one way or the other. It's just a matter of how banged up you and the bike are by the time you get down there. Decided to let Rod take the lead for the descent, with myself following somewhat closely behind.
wait up!
Now, through this rocky stuff, I've really noticed that Scott's steering dampener I picked up on my last video makes a lot of difference in reducing rider fatigue. These big bikes take a lot of muscle to get them to do what you want them to do, and every little bit helps.
It is fucking amazing. Oh, dude. Okay, you gotta get fucking moving here, because I'm coming.
Here we see Rod taking the slow and steady approach to our descent.
Man up. None. Don't even touch it. Don't even look at it. Okay, you gotta drop 800 bones and get a dampener, Rod. Well, we both know that that's not an option.
Not when I go riding with you, you little prick.
Yeah. This is mind over matter. That's all it is. Oh, there's a little trail up there, hey?
Now, after making it to the bottom, we were again faced with whether or not we were going to take the mud pit or the bypass. For a minute there, I thought we were going to just try and go through the mud pit, but cooler heads prevailed, and we decided to stick with what we knew and take the bypass.
I bet that's deep, man.
And after some considerable effort, I managed to get the 950 pointed in the direction I wanted to go.
This is my 30-point turn here.
Now, as you can probably guess from my little video preview, this did not go the way I intended.
Oh yeah! Here, help me out.
Well, I picked it up using some experience acquired techniques
Oh yeah.
and began the arduous process of backing the bike off of the hill a little bit.
Oh fuck no. That's some deep fucking mud.
Now, in most situations, I prefer to just get the bike out of there and take a run at it again.
Right here.
There you can see me
No, it's
throwing the stick that I blame my crash upon.
Come on, go.
And after backing up a few feet with the help of Rod, I decide to give it another go.
Backwards. I want to turn around. There we go.
And this time I managed to make it through without too much of an issue. I quickly doubled back to get some footage of Rod's attempt.
I meant to do that. Oh yeah, let's go. Not you.
And Rod makes it through clean.
Poor bastard, eh?
So we continued on in search of another trail.
Fuck. Well, it did. Oh, easy.
After jumping on the main Forestry Service road around the mountain, we decided we were going to take a stab at one of the tougher trails on the hill. So after ducking under some fallen trees, we continued to our next objective. Now the trail we were going to attempt was one usually meant for sub 650 actual dirt bikes and is used quite frequently in a lot of the local dual sport rides. But we were feeling brash and decided that the big KTMs were up to the task. Well, our trail started out with this long, steep, rocky hill climb, but with enough of a run, I was able to tractor my way up in first gear. I even at one point tried to take it into second, but I ended up finding that didn't quite have the grunt that I wanted given the grade of the path. The trail continued along this greasy, slick mud. Now, it doesn't look so bad in the video, but traction was pretty scarce on this stuff.
A little bit.
After a few more kilometers of that, we started to approach our next obstacle. Now, after getting a look at the trail off to the right, I think me and Rod both started to get some second thoughts about the trail worthiness of our 530-pound dirt bikes.
And I made it up there on the 350. I don't think that's where we went. Do you want to scope ahead a little bit?
I decided that I would check it out on foot and kind of assess whether or not this is something we were willing to attempt on the limited light that we had left. Now here you can see me trip and fall, which I kind of interpreted as a bad omen at the prospect of us trying to ride up this evening.
You're right though, once you get through this, I think you're laughing.
So we decided to exercise our discretionary powers and ride down the hill with our tails tucked between our legs. We did, however, discuss the prospect of attacking that pass from the opposite side of the mountain, so we would be on the descent for that section as opposed to trying to climb it. Now, descending the rocky hill climb, we tried to just keep it in first gear and let the bike coast. If you rely too heavily on the brakes for this kind of stuff, they end up overheating.
There we go. Oh yeah, he's taking it. Oh, fuck.
And we made it down safely. So after a quick burn on the main drag, we made it to this little playground area. And we decided that we would have fun on some of these little hill climbs and try and strengthen our damaged egos.
Here, follow me. I went down on the 350 there. Well, I just grabbed the front brake. I was scared shitless, man. It's my first off-road ride. I didn't know what the fuck to do. That fucking hurt too. I didn't have any elbow pads or anything. I got a nice scar from that one.
Now this was at the end of the trail on the west side of the mountain, and just a few hundred meters from here we assumed we were going to exit back onto some pavement for a short ride home.
Look at all this shit. Gated it off.
I decided quickly before we left I would take a look off to the right here. So after a little jump over a slash pile, I came across a huge pile of garbage. Now this is the number one thing that I don't like to see on any kind of ride, because normally when I see a pile of trash like that, I know that a locked gate isn't too far to go.
Dirty, rotten assholes. Oh, hitting bottom there. Oh, rabbit's scared shitless. Oh, dude, what?
And unfortunately, without fail, a trail that used to be open for as long as I can remember riding now had a heavily fortified gate obstructing our exit. Now this was extremely frustrating, as we were kind of tired from the night of riding, and we could see the pavement right across from the gate. It looked like someone had unsuccessfully even tried to disassemble the gate. This is the best effort so far. At one point they put up 3 gates in 3 days here just to have the local hooligans rip them down. So we were left with little choice but to turn around and head back the way we came.
Yeah, just check the GoPro.
And after hopping a little cross ditch, we continued on and eventually made our way back to the pavement. Now, if any of you have any constructive criticism for my first attempt at narrating a ride video, I'm happy to hear it. I'm hoping to upload a video next week with another ride. And please subscribe if you like what you see and you want to see more.